Genba is an alien now, and a cat alien at that. We know that he has a dark past with disrace, but we don't quite know what just yet. And things seem to be going very square-shaped for this team. We've had a mad couple of episodes. As of episode 27, we officially know that Genba does indeed know disrace. And that is because Genba is an alien. He is from another planet, and he is a type of cat person. We see him go Super Saiyan and become this weird ancient cat dude. And also just a massive curveball. Like, if you told me when we met Genba, or even when the show started and we knew this was a car-themed show, if you told me that one of these guys was going to be a cat alien, I would have... like, what? Genba feels like he's betrayed the team because he didn't tell them, but of course they're all very accepting of him still. But because of disrace's arrival and this revelation that he is an alien, he decides it's time to leave the team. Taya lets him keep his changer, but Genba's gone. Genba's leaving. We don't exactly know what his motives are going forward, but this is what's going on. We said in our video before, why is Genba like the centerpiece of the poster for lap 3? This is clearly why. Then episode 28 comes around and Genba's taken out of the intro entirely. Like, he's still in some of the group shots, but like the solo panels of him and him at the end in like the little group shot, he's just gone. He's not a Boonboomger anymore. We also find out that the reason why Genba eats lollipops is because apparently sugar, or at least, I don't know, lollipops, are what help him stay in like a human form. When he first came to Earth, he bumped into Taya, and knowing that they were going to have a friendship beyond this, and he was starving, and Taya was like, look, the only thing I've got on me is a lollipop, if you would like it. And he has it, and it works. And that is why we see Genba with a lollipop through the entire series. Again, who'd have thought? I thought he was just being quirky. I thought he just liked the lollipop. No, that's what keeps him from turning into a cat. And this episode overall is quite cool. There is a fight scene with Joe that is intense. And not only do we get this sick, like, helmetless shot, which I'm sure everybody's already talking about, it just solidifies his love for both his team and Genba as well. Like, this man is livid about the stuff that's gone down, and he's not going to stand for it. Mad Rex returns. Like, not just in a flashback, Mad Rex is back, and we later find out that he's going to become the bodyguard for disrace. Which of course brings us to episode 29, the one that this video is solely about, the most recent episode. First of all, we get a bit of backstory to Ishiro. I know this has been a big like Genba like focus last 2 episodes, but Ishiro is the sort of the leading for this one, and it's basically how he met Taya. He was working as a spy, breaking into a warehouse, and Taya's the one that stops him. He was a spy for the ISA, who of course the Boonboomgers are kind of technically working with in this series, and he was sent to investigate Boondario, or at least the meteor, the thing that crashed into Earth. And when he found Taya and Boondario, he decided to keep it a secret from the ASA, making him Boon Blue, which I think is very, very cool. Right, it's a noble move, because throughout the entire show, Ishiro's kind of been the more reserved person. He's a bit more judgmental of everyone, but knowing that this is how he started, making that sort of sacrifice of his job, I suppose, in order to keep this a secret, and then becoming Boon Blue, I think that's really cool. But the reason we know this is because Ishiro's hired again by the ASA to spy/steal from somebody, and we don't quite know who just yet. But we find out that Taya and the rest of the Boonboomgers are in on it. Like, it's not that Ishiro's gone off the grid. They are aware that he's doing this, but we don't know why. Also, we're doing a very, very super secret giveaway at 4,000 subscribers. So, if you want to be a part of that giveaway, if you want to help us get there, consider subscribing. Maybe share this video with your friends, tell people about the channel, and, just let me know. As the mission's starting, Saikito and Boon Diesel show up, and they're like, look, bro, we want to help you out. You're doing this spying thing, we're the cleanup service, let's work together. And basically, the people that he's stealing from and spying on, they're the distraction. So they go up and they start making a fool of themselves, and they're like, we want to work for you, we want to help you out, we'll do anything you want. And while they're distracting them at the front door with this, Ishiro's sneaking in through the back. Now, I thought these guys looked a little bit familiar, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. But we find out that not only are these 2 characters in episode 1 of Boonboomger, but they're the people that tried to force Mira into marriage, which at episode 29 is such a random callback. We already had the episode of Mira's ex-boyfriend, but this was just a random callback, which I can appreciate. But I'm genuinely thinking at this point, what on earth do they need to steal from them? At some point down the line, because remember, the first 10 episodes of Boonboomger was just Mad Rex as the main villain, right? At some point, after Mira becomes a Boonboomger, they are recruited by Cannonborg to become, basically, it's weird. So these are obviously very rich people, and Cannonborg just said to them, if you team up with us, if you become, you know, if you team up with the Hash Aliens, you can pretty much rule the world once we take over. Like, you can be like the sort of like first, second in command. You can rule. You can be the richest people ever. You can be the president of the earth, basically. And in doing that, when they get that trust, Cannonball gives them one of the keys, which, if you've seen any episodes of Boonboomger, the keys are what they put into random objects to turn them into aliens, to turn them into monsters. And I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because I'll be honest, they don't explain it very well in the episode. I'm going to bring this microphone a bit closer. They didn't explain it very well in the episode, because it does just kind of feel like that happened, and then they were like, okay, so that's something they did. Like, I'd love to go a bit more into that. Like, why these guys? Why do they need somebody to hold onto a key? Maybe we'll find that out in the next coming episodes, I'm not sure. But basically, Ishiro has now taken that key, stolen it, we've had that backstory, and he's ready to return it to the leader of the ISA, who is obviously, you know, they're meant to be the good guys. We've had a little bit of suspicion, like, how did they know where Cannonbug was back in that one episode? But, you know, they work for the ISA, they're the good guys. And during all this, Saikato is fighting with this week's Monster of the Week, who is a boxing monster, which every time a ranger goes up to him and tries to fight, magically they get boxing gloves on their hands, and they've got to fight hand to hand. This happens to Saikato, and it happens to Ishiro. And I, to be fair, kind of enjoy it. Like, it's a bit of a quirky motif, don't get me wrong, but like the hand-to-hand combat, as opposed to like the weapons, I really enjoyed. And it made for some cool visuals. Like, this anime style, like, boxing showdown was sick. I also really like the dynamic of Saikato and Ishiro. I think we don't see them interact too often in the show, and them two working together, and then at the end, that like little fist bump they did, I've just kind of like, you know, we're not like the best of buddies, but that was quite cool. I mean, you know, that was really fun, and I really like those sort of interactions. I really want to see more interactions between the people that we don't really get interactions with, like maybe an episode focused on Saikato and Mira. I don't know, it was just a cool moment. It was a wholesome moment, and I enjoyed seeing the new combination of Rangers. Which leads on to the mech battle. Ishiro basically decides he's going to use the marine car, so he just gives Saikato the regular blue one. And Saikato's in the main mech, and what they do is they get Boon Dario, they attach the marine, they attach the sword blue, like sword thing, I forget what it's called. And then we get the wings and another arm piece from Boon Diesel. And it makes what I think is one of the most unique transformations we've had yet. There's been a couple of cool ones, but I like the idea that Saikato is just in the main mech and there's just parts of Boon Diesel on the mech rather than it being the full thing being Boon Diesel. I don't know, am I being really like noobish right now? For those of you who don't know, like, this is my first time properly watching Super Sentai. Is this just a very normal thing? I don't know, I just thought that was really cool. I've not seen that so far in the show yet, where Saikato has just been able to jump in the main mech. I hope to see more of that type of stuff soon. And while Ishiro and Saikato are dealing with this boxing monster, Taya, Mira, and Joe are on the ground battling Mad Rex. As I said earlier, Mad Rex is the bodyguard of Disgrace at this point, so no matter what happens, he will not let them get to him. So they're fighting, and Mad Rex is about to leave. And Taya's like, absolutely not, and smacks him up the face with a sword, and is about to grab him. But Gemba steps in the way, fully morphed. What is going on? At first, I thought that he was protecting him. I thought maybe this isn't Gemba, maybe his changer was stolen, but no, it was. But I think that he thinks that Taya was going to kill him, and he wants to know where Disgrace is. So he goes up to him, he asks, where is Disgrace? He does not answer. Genba just walks away. Just walks away. He's not having any of it. And this was interesting because Genba was going to hand in the changer altogether, and Taya just said, keep it in case you need it. And he's using it, but he's actively now on his own mission to get the Disgrace. And I don't think it's going to be great when he gets there, because we still don't know every little detail about this feud they've got. And I just think, what is going to happen when Genba gets his hand on this guy? Then as the episode ends, Ishiro hands the key to the leader of the ISA, and he's just sort of like, did you hire me for this because I'm a Boonboomger? Or did you hire me for this for just the fact that you like me? And he was like, look, the job's done. There's no point in stupid questions. Window rolls up. And then he makes a phone call, and he tells somebody that he has the final key, meaning he already has some, which we didn't know, and that basically they now control the Hash Aliens. Like, everything they want, which is the keys. Basically, all the Hash Aliens want are to be able to create monsters to gather gasoline, and they create monsters with those keys, and now the ISA have all those keys, and instead of the ISA getting rid of those keys, Instead, they're clearly planning to like barter and bargain with the Hashalians, leading Tyra and Ishiro to basically say, look, we're against the Hashalians, but now I also think we might be against the ISA, leading me to believe that the deal they made with those two guys from episode 1, they've also potentially made with the leader of the ISA, which is terrifying. The Boonboomgers have had to be under the jurisdiction of the ISA since episode 1, but now they're gonna have to go solo. Like, realistically, if the ISA works with the Hashalians, this ain't good. And the episode ends there. I'm looking forward to see where this goes. We do get in the preview for next episode. We do see that Genba's going to return in his cat form, so clearly he's not been able to get his hands on some lollipops for a while. But I wonder if we're going to be pushing the series forward next episode, or if we're just going to get another Monster of the Week, which is fine. I don't mind a Monster of the Week episode. They dropped a lot in this. And you know, it's episode 30 next. It's typically only about 50 episodes, so we're in the final sort of 20 episodes, not to quote Tyler, but it's about to get wild. What are your thoughts on these last few episodes of Boonboomger? I've been invested. I know I've not been doing weekly videos anymore. I kind of said in the last video that I wasn't going to keep doing it, because not only is reacting to the videos, like Poe just sometimes decides that it's fine and sometimes decides that it isn't, but also I feel like there's more to say when I do it in big chunks like this. So let me know what you think of the new format, and let me know what you think of Boonboomger currently. Do we think Genba is going to rejoin the team at any point, or do we think, now hear me out, the last time we had this color scheme minus Boon Violet was in Battle Fever J, which even though is now considered the 3rd season of Sentai, it is kind of the 1st season of Super Sentai. Like, I know it's not anymore, but it kind of is. There was all those like issues with the fact that the first 2 weren't called Super Sentai. But anyway, I'm getting carried away. Do we think that they might do a little throwback? And something bad could happen to Genba. For those who don't know, Battle Fever J, the Orange Ranger dies and gets replaced by his brother. I'm not saying they do that. But I am worried about Genba. Poor little guy, like. But thank you guys so much for watching. I upload videos every week. I've just released a video on Kamen Rider Gav and my thoughts, and I will be doing more on that in the future, along with, of course, more Boonboomger and Power Rangers related uploads. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.